Hello everyone. All right, so the next program in chapter 6 is roulette wheel colors. All right, so on a roulette wheel, the pockets are numbered from 0 to 36. The colors of the pockets are as follows. Pocket 0 is green. For pockets 1 through 10, the odd numbered pockets are red and the even numbered pockets are black. For pockets 11 through 18, the odd numbered pockets are black and the even numbered pockets are red. For pockets 9 through 28, odd numbered pockets are red, the even numbered pockets are black. For pockets 29 through 36, the odd numbered pockets are black and the even numbered pockets are red. Write a class named Roulette Pocket. The class's constructor should accept a pocket number. The class should have a method named getPocketColor that returns a pocket color as a string. Demonstrates the class in a program that asks the user to enter a pocket number and displays whether the pocket is green, red, or black. The pocket should display an error message if the user enters a number that is outside the range of 0 through 36. All right, so in this program, we're going to go ahead and create a roulette wheel color class, and it's going to have a field of, let's say, it's going to have a field of pockets number, and then based on the pockets number the user provides, we are going to use the class to return the pocket color as a string. So we're going to go ahead and create a method in here, which we've been told, which is going to tell us the color of the pocket based on the number, in the pocket, based on the pocket's number. All right, so let's go ahead and start. Okay, all right, so we are going to create two files. One is going to be the class itself, and the other one is going to be the program that's going to test the class, right? So let's go ahead and create the class here, and then we'll create the program that's going to test the class. As long as they're in the same folder, they should be able to see each other. If you save it somewhere else, if you save it somewhere else and you want to write a program that uses that class, you have to specify to the program where the class is, meaning you have to type in the path where the class is. So let's start creating the class. All right, so it said over here, write a class named Roulette Pocket. So I'm going to go ahead and create a public class, and I'm going to call it Roulette Pocket. It's going to be a pocket class because I want it to be available to code outside of this class. I want any code outside of this class who wants to use this, that wants to use this class to be able to access it, so it's public, right? Now let's go ahead and define the fields of this class. Now, it doesn't mention of anywhere here, but over here when it gets down here, it said over here, sorry, actually. It said the class's constructor should accept a pocket number, right? So we can safely assume that this class is, class is going to have a pocket number, right? Because this class is actually it's representing a roulette pocket. When you create an object from this class, that object is representing a roulette pocket, right? And we want to know what's in that pocket, right? So let's go ahead and create a field that's going to store the number in that pocket, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and create a private field, right? So private, and then I'll call it pockets number. Well, first of all, I need to specify the type, right? So private int pockets number. Now, pockets number is just going to be the 1, 5, 2. We're dealing with integers here. See, 1 to 10, 11 through 18. All right, so why did I make it private? Because I don't want code outside of this class to be able to directly change the content of pockets number or to directly even see the content of pocket number. I don't want it to directly do that. I want it to use other means. I want it to use other public methods I'm about to define, okay, to be able to access the content of pockets number or be able to change the content of this pockets number. If they wanted to see pockets number, they couldn't just say, oh, print out pocket number. They would have to use a method like, let's say, one of the methods they told us to define, actually the method they told us to define, which is get pocket color, to be able to see the content of pocket number, right? That's the only way they should be able to do that. But they shouldn't be able to directly say, hey, system.out.print, for example, pocket number, right? So that's why it's private. I'm hiding this data from code outside of this class. All right, so Now we can go ahead and probably define more fields, but this should be fine, right? There are multiple ways we can do this, but let's have one field for now, and then now let's go ahead and create the constructor. Over here it said the class's constructor should accept a pocket number, right? So when someone wants to define an object from this class, the person should provide a pocket number. So let's go ahead and create the constructor. Sorry about that. Now the constructor is just like a regular method, right? It doesn't have the keyword static, right? And it doesn't have a return type. It doesn't have a return type because we do not call this method ourselves. This method is automatically called when someone tries to create an object from this class. And because of that, because we do not call this ourselves explicitly, it can't return a value. And because of that, we don't specify a return type. So just like regular method, so I'm going to define a public because this is what I want. This is the method I want people to use to create objects from this class. Or this is the method I want other people who write programs, or basically another program to. This is the method I want other programs to use to create an object from this class. So I want to make it public. And then I said it doesn't have the keyword static and it doesn't have a return type. So it's just basically the access specifier, right? And then the name of the constructor. Now the name of the constructor has to be the same as the name of the class. In this case, the class is Roulette Pocket. So the constructor is also going to be called Roulette Pocket. So public Roulette Pocket, like this. Just like a regular method apart from that. All right, so the program said that the class's constructor should accept a pocket number. So we know it's going to accept a pocket number. So let's define a parameter for a pocket number. So I'm going to say a pocket number is a number. It's going to be an integer, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's define an int and say pocket number. Actually, let's call it pocket number given, because this is going to store whatever pocket number is given when anyone tries to use this constructor to create an object from this class. And once we get the pocket number, let's set the pocket number field in the class to the pocket number given. Right, so now we're done with the constructor. All right. Now let's go ahead and create the method. Now it says the class should have a method named getPocketColor that returns the pocket's color as a string. Right. Now I like to have my constructor as the last thing in the class, and that's why I've defined it here as the last thing in the class. So we have to go ahead and create this method named getPocketColor. Now getPocketColor is an accessor. Right. Well, it's not necessarily an accessor because it's not really. It's not necessarily an accessor because it's not really returning what's one of the fields of this class, right? But in a way, you can think of it as an accessor. It's not really an accessor, right? It's just a regular method that uses the pockets. It uses the pockets number to figure out the color, right? But it's not necessarily an accessor, although you can think of it as one. Sorry about that. All right, so let's go ahead and create it. Now, this method is going to be an instance method, right? An instance method is any method that is going to directly work on the fields of this class. In this case, it's going to work directly on the pockets number. It's going to take the pockets number, and then based on that number, figure out the color. So because it's using the pocket number and working directly on it, right? It's an instance method. Now, for instance methods, you don't add the keyword static. Okay, just know that you don't add the keyword static. Now, in regular methods, when we're defining methods, we said public static void, or public static string, or public static double. We added the keyword static, but with instance methods, okay, we don't add the keyword static. Apart from that, it has a return type. It has everything else a method has, right? So let's go ahead and define it. Public, because we want any code outside of this class or any programmer who writes a program to use this class to be able to access this method, right? So let's make it public, and then we need to specify the return type. Now, the question said the class should have a method named getPocketColor that returns the pocket's color as a string. So we know it's going to return the string. So in that case, we have to specify the return type as a string. So public string, and then we have to give it a name. The name is called getPocketColor, right? So getPocketColor. Now let's figure out if the pocket color is going to accept in any arguments. Okay, get pocket color is not going to accept any argument. It's all it's going to do is it's going to use the value of pocket's number to figure out the color, and it's going to return it. So we don't really need to define any parameter for that. So now we need to work on the code that is going to figure out the color based on the pocket number. All right, so over here it said pocket 0 is green, right? Pocket 0 is green. All right, so sorry about that. I just picked up this cold. Sorry, this cough all of a sudden. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so pocket 0 is green, right? So let's start an if statement and say that, oops, not here. In the get pocket color, sorry about that. Just taking a little drink here, sorry. Okay. I don't know where it came from. All right, so get pocket color. So we know pocket 0 is green, right? So let's create an if statement and say that if pocket's number, right, is exactly equal to, not exactly equal, but it's equivalent to 0, right? Then let's go, oh, actually, let's not do that. Okay, let's not do that. Let's do it differently. Let's say if pocket number is less than 1, right? If it's less than 1, then later on we'll have some input validation in the main program. But then we'll have some input validation in the main program to make sure that, you know, over here, we'll work on that later on. We'll work on the input validation. But for now, let's say if pocket number is less than 1, meaning if it's 0 or less, right? But then we're actually dealing with 0. So if it's 0, or basically less than 1, if it's 0, then it's going to be less than 1, right? So if it's 0, less than 1, in the program itself, we're not going to allow the user to type in anything less than 0, and we're not going to allow the user to type in anything greater than 36. We'll get here. So it's either, the person is either going to type in 0 to 36, because the program is not going to allow the person to type anything other than that, and we'll work on that. So if the person types in the number 0 to 36, right, we'll check to see if it's less than 1, that means it's 0, right? Among the numbers 0 to 36, less than 1 is 0. So if less than 1, then in that case, let's go ahead and return the string. Well, actually, let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and return the string green. Okay. Okay, so if it's not less than 1, okay, so let's do an else if here. All right, so think about it for a second. If it's not less than 1, then that means it's 1 and above. Okay, actually 1 or above. Okay, if it's not less than 1, then it's 1 or above. And for all the, over here it says for pockets 1 through 10, meaning 1 through 10, right? 1 all the way to 10. So over here, if it's not less than 1, then that means that number is 1 or above. We don't want all the numbers 1 or above. We want the numbers that are 1, okay? See over here, if it's not less than 1, then that means it's 1 or above. So we don't, then that means all the numbers left over here are 1 or above. So for all the numbers 1 or above, we don't want all of them. We don't want all the numbers 1 or above. We want all the numbers 1 or above, but at the same time, less than, pocket's numbers less than 11. Because think about it, if it's less than 1, that means it's 0. If we are dealing with the numbers 0 to 36, right? Again, in the main program, you're going to allow the user to only enter 0 to 36. So in that range, 0 to 36, if it's less than 1, then we're dealing with 0. If it's not less than 1, then we're dealing with 1 or above, right? And for all the numbers 1 or above, we want the ones over here less than 11. For all the numbers 1 or above, we want the ones less than 11. Else, if pocket's number is less than 11, meaning we are dealing with 1 to 10. And over here it says for pockets 1 through 10, the odd numbered pockets are red and the even numbered pockets are black. So for pockets 1 through 10, which is here in this block, we have to now figure out the odd numbers and then the even numbers, right? So there's a way to do that. So if, right, so there's a way to do that. If, in this range, for 1 through 10, if that number is So it says here, if the number is an odd number, then the color is red, and if the number is an even number, then the color is black.